This third feature from writer-director Jan Ole Gerster is a stylish, sun-drenched drama that holds its mysteries close to its chest and has a thrilling and often playful approach to genre. We're super excited to have it in the festival, and Islands will have its world premiere this evening as a Berlinale special gala at the Zoopalast. I will introduce the film team members here. Please join me in welcoming them. So we start off furthest from me with Jonas Katzenstein, Sam Riley, writer-director Jan Ole Gerster, Jack Farthing, and producer Maximilian Leo. So I get the first question.
All right.
Jan Ole, we start the film with a man who is trapped in a cycle, but he's also in the midst of this glorious kind of natural beauty. And I'm wondering if you could talk a bit about the setting, the island setting, and how that influenced the storytelling.
Well, it all started, obviously, with a trip to Fuerteventura, which was supposed to be a holiday and turned out to become a work trip, because I was in a hotel myself, and from my balcony, I had a tennis court in front of my balcony where a guy was training day in, day out, and he was playing hundreds and thousands of balls over the net, and he seemed a little bit stuck in a loop. Right, and I don't know, from that moment on, my imagination took over, and I thought he would make a great movie character. And I actually reached out to him, and I got to talk to him a little bit, and he moved me like a person who was stuck and wasn't able yet to admit it to himself. So I think that was the starting point to that story. And in regards of the island, Fuerteventura makes it very easy for a filmmaker to get inspired. Like everything from a cinematic point of view looks stunning, and the contrast of the architecture of the holiday resorts and the volcanic landscapes are yelling at you like, shoot a film here. And it was pure joy to explore the islands and find the locations and shoot the film.
Excellent. Do we have some questions from the audience? Okay, we have one just here.
Good evening. My name is Mahari Sigit, Africa Refugee News. First of all, I want to know who gave you the inspiration, which old, let's say, directors like Hitchcock or like Agatha Christie, where did you get this? Because it was really perfect. I saw it this morning. And I want to know from Sam, how much did it take you to learn to play tennis, or did you play tennis before?
Was there a question for me first?
Yes, which directors inspired you?
Yeah. Oh, which directors inspired me? Sorry. Especially for this one, I wasn't really thinking about directors, but more about a certain genre, like a noirish genre, or as we refer to it, as a vacation noir movie. And I think pretty soon people started to mention Antonioni and even Wim Wenders. And I think all these directors that I love so much kind of found their way as an influence into the whole thing, but I wasn't really trying to make my influences visible. I think it just happened, and but it was more the genre that inspired me rather than directors in this particular case.
Hi, thank you for the question. I had very little experience with tennis, sadly, before shooting this. But one of the great things about the job is that you end up learning things that you didn't previously know, and you don't have to pay for the lessons. And so I had 3 glorious months having 4 tennis lessons a week at least, and got as familiar as I could with the game. My son still plays. I haven't touched a tennis racket since filming stopped, if I'm completely honest. But I loved it.
Excellent. We have a question over there.
Hi, I'm Marc Garriga from the Catalan public radio station. So I'm going to ask you, Jan, about the two Catalan actors that are in the film, Bruna Cusí and Pep Ambrós. How did they get involved in the project, and how was work with them? And to Sam, how was work with Pep? Because I think your scenes are the most funny scenes in the film because of the laughs that I hear this morning in the screening. Thank you.
Well, I'm obviously very blessed that I could, have both actors in the film. Bruna, I actually discovered at the Berlinale Festival a long time ago. It was Carla Simon is her name, right? She's a winner of the Golden Bear, and it was her film. I don't remember. I remember the German title, Frieda's Summer, or something like this. Yeah. That's it. That's the one. Sorry. And ever since I followed her career, and when it came to casting in Barcelona, I asked our casting agent to reach out to her, and fortunately, she accepted the role. And Pap, I just discovered in the process of casting, and he blew me away. His tape was so funny, and he was that character right away. And actually, it was amazing to work with both of them.
How was he working with Pep? I love working with both of them. I was nervous working with Pep because I had to speak Spanish with him, but he was very supportive and complimentary, which helps. But they're lovely scenes, and I think Pep just has such a natural charm and kindness to him that, and it's great. It's brilliantly written, obviously, those scenes. And no, I love working with Pep, and we're still in touch.
Okay, in the centre here.
Yes, hello, my name is Melanie Eckert. I'm a freelance journalist working for Shelft. And first of all, thank you very much for the fantastic film. It was a slow burn masterpiece, in my opinion. I really enjoyed the mysterious atmosphere created through the music and sound design, and also the great camera work. I really love that. And the film is also a perfect example for the mastery of subtlety in the pictures and also in the performances of the cast, especially in your performance, Sam Riley. Was impressively nuanced. I really liked it. And my question goes to Sam Riley and also to you, Jan-Ole Gerster. Mr. Riley, how much did you know about the background story of the character you played, and about this possible motives, and how much direction did you give him for that? Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Jan and I spoke a lot before we started working. We kept meeting up to discuss life and the film and the character.
I was also checking on the tennis.
He was and he checked in on the tennis lessons a few times. I'm a bit confused what the question was exactly, but I loved. I read the script in one sitting when I read it, and it's very rare anyway for me to get, to have lead roles come along like this. And I was fascinated by the character. I thought somehow I could see quite a few similarities between us somehow, had my life kind of gone in a slightly different direction. But it was just a beautifully written part, and I loved playing it. It was really a joy every day. I'm working on an island like Fuerteventura, when you come from Leeds in West Yorkshire, I would shoot every film on Fuerteventura if I could.
I'm not, entirely convinced about feeding backstory to the actor, because first of all, I hope that everything the actor needs to know about the character is already in the script. I mean, if not, there would be something wrong about it, I guess. So Sam and I, we approached this more by getting to know each other a little bit better. We talked about it, and I talked about, more what we have in common personally, or if we know characters like him. So it wasn't like that we sat down and thought about his previous life before coming to the island. because it also confuses me a little bit to do it. It's possible, and I think some parts and movies and characters require this kind of work, but in this particular case, we were just getting to know each other better and better, and I was confident that Sam would bring so much of himself to the character, so I avoided to confuse him with some weird backstory. It was a bit different with Jack. We didn't talk about Jack backstory, but we had more back and forth via email talking about Dave, trying to get to know him a little bit better. I told Jack that the movie is about him, his character, because
He said that it was about me, to me.
no. The funny thing is, but the funny thing is that I started to write this script when I had no kids, and I ended up finishing it when I was a father of 2. So at the beginning of the process, I think I had slightly more in common with the Tom character, and ended up making a movie about the Dave character. And I think this is how I convinced you.
You went missing in the middle of the shoot as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Never came back.
Yes.
Well, Jack, Dave arrives on the island and he's maybe already a bit lost and he's up for a bit more escape. What were the pleasures in playing the role for you?
So many. I love Dave very quickly. He on the page, he is, I don't know, there's something very transparent about him. I always thought he's someone who you see into very quickly, and he hides behind a lot of performed ease and confidence. But I think anyone who looks at him for more than a minute can see that there's a lot of pain and confusion, and he's lost. So yeah, he was a treat to sort of get to know, and yeah, and as ever, you can read something and feel like it's far away, and then as the process continues, you realize how much you might have in common, and you bring more of yourself than you thought you might, and yeah, it was a huge pleasure working with Sam and Stacey and Jan-Ole. It was like I think we all sort of cared about it a lot and are proud of what we made, yeah.
Absolutely. A question in the centre.
Hi, Alexandra Schaller from Rix Filmkritiken. I was wondering, it's a question for the whole cast, how did working with such an international cast also shape the production of the film? Maybe Jan-Ole, for you first. And then
I thought you addressed this to the cast. How the international cast shaped the production?
What?
How the international cast shaped the production?
Yes. But also for the cast, what was it like for you to play in such an international cast and crew? That's the question.
Well, first of all, I always mingled with the idea of shooting something in English, and Fuerteventura seemed to be the perfect place, like neutral ground. It's not like going to London or elsewhere to shoot my English language debut. Fuerteventura felt right away like the place where it could happen, because there are as many British drunk people on the island as there are Germans, and it felt natural to go there with a British cast, and I think that is almost the only difference from my experiences with shooting in Germany with the German cast. I mean, we were like a crew of Spanish, German, and British crew members and cast members, and in the end, it was like any other good collaboration, and I think this is what matters most, that we had a connection. I was super grateful to have these 3 actors, plus Dylan, by the way, who sits over there. Dylan, can you say hi for a second? He's the Anton character. And of course, all the great Spanish actors. No, it was actually surprisingly wonderful. I mean, usually shooting a movie is stressful, and on the screen it might look like we all went on a holiday, but it was actually a bit like this. We were working hard, but I think everyone enjoyed the process of making that film.
Well, can I maybe extend that out to the producers as well, to talk a little bit about, what drew you to the project, and whether the environment that was created on set was one that felt kind of a holiday vibe.
Yeah, I think it's one of those productions that will stay closest to our hearts, honestly, because it felt like the best. You know, like when you start the career as a producer, you make like those students movies where all live together and like it's very, very, everybody spends time together, and then you become more professional, the projects get bigger, the budget gets bigger. There are a lot of agents and reps in between you and the talent sometimes, and you lose a little bit of this feeling. And I think this project like really, really, really brought back to us both, Jonas and me, the love of filmmaking big way, because literally like we had like a space in the hotel that was operating. We were shooting in a running hotel, and we had a space where there was costume, there was makeup, there was a holding space for extras. There was like, I mean, to ask like actors of that level to go on to an adventure like this is quite something. And everybody went along, like, and then in the beginning we had like a hotel for the crew, and then like all the cast also moved into that hotel because like everybody was just spending time. So even on a day off, you walked by the pool and everybody was there, and it gave us really back this production that you have sometimes in university and film school, and like that like transported into the chemistry of the filmmaking, and it was really, really special. And it didn't feel like a vacation, because if you're working 18 hours a day, it has a different vibe.
Still a job.
But
Still a job.
Of course, if you can jump into the pool in between, it helps. And it was definitely one of the most fun productions we had in a long time.
Yeah.
We worked hard.
Yeah, but also we, like I said, and working on a hotel that is on a running system. There was like our extras were the people they're having vacation there right now, and every day was surprised that they don't kill us because we were destroying their holidays. But I think they also liked it, and we made clear where we can shoot. But that it helped. It gave the movie this. I don't know, this very realistic feeling on this one. When you see the aqua aerobic in the beginning, this is the real aqua aerobic they're doing there. We shot it hidden under the bushes, our DOP and stuff like this one. So, and it felt really like a family producing these movies. You always say this, but some movies are more like a family, and the others are a little bit more logistical stuff, and you do much more. We did a few more bigger budget movies. Then it gets more rules and more stuff. It felt really, like Max said, more like the feeling of early days student movies. Hey, let's shoot this movie. Drive to the desert, and just start shooting there. So it was really cool. We really liked it, and we loved it.
I think in my eyes, it made the filmmaking a bit purer. I mean, of course, it still was logistic, but there were a lot of scenes that were like with a very small crew, or like where the cast was in a car and then they changed the direction and like everybody freaked out. But the background was better. And I think, from at least to my eyes, it shows like a little bit of this classical vibe of like smaller crews and a more personal connection. So.
Sam, without giving too much away, Tom gets a chance to experience a kind of rehearsal for another way of life. And that was something that really stuck with me after I'd seen the film, something that you don't generally get to see, a kind of a path not taken. I'm wondering, what did the character of Tom kind of leave you with after the film?
The best tan I've ever had in my life. It was incredible. Well, more seriously, it's always difficult to answer those sorts of questions, because I understand why you would ask, but I don't really ever think about things so much like that. I take away things that are more the lived experience or the people that I've worked with, and I don't take so much from the characters, I hope. But I feel like, I was interested in this idea of potential not reached. I mean, I've experienced some sort of suggestions of that in my own life, and second chances, and so I mean, this was what drew me to it and what made me really interested in it. But what I took away from it was really Yeah, the people, the place, and the experience itself, rather.
Okay, we have another one over here.
I would like to ask the moderator if I can ask a question to the young boy.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, can you tell us more about your experience with this beautiful cast and what did you find out about cinema?
Maybe you can give him the microphone so he can answer.
Well, working with all of you was really great. I mean, Sam, Stacey, Jack, like, apart from being amazing actors, you're all really amazing people. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Same to you, Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, we have another question.
Okay, Astrid Mattis, MZ. I've got a question for you, Jan Ole. So the key story, a little bit of it, is in the Rafael Nadal thing. So how did you come up with this story?
Yeah, we're talking about background story, right? There's a little bit of a background story here. And Sam mentioned unused potential or, missed chances and the tragic of unfulfilled potential. This is something I'm very curious about. And it was, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird idea to suggest that he really played and won against Nadal. But I like the ambiguity about it, that he's not entirely feeling comfortable in his character, like when the story is told. And I thought it would be interesting that the only thing we get to know about him is a story that we don't even know whether to believe it or not. And I met like the tennis coach I met, he kept telling me these kind of stories that people came for sparring to the island was a thing. And it was just, we fooled around with it in the development of the script. And we actually tried to get Nadal to star in the film for a second, which didn't work out. But I think there were already conversations with his management. So he would have a little bit of a cameo. Our DP is the biggest Nadal fan. He was so nervous about it, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But I hope he will see the film. I don't know.
Well, Islands will have its world premiere this evening as a Berlinale special gala at the Superlast. Please join me in thanking the filmmakers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was it?